I want to just real quick show some stuff here. Now, I have this cool effect at the bottom, right? This is um, this is a special tool that I use when I'm blogging. It makes it look like I'm kind of a nerd down in the weeds, you know. So I'm just kidding. That's actually I am a nerd down in the weeds. Uh, that's just there for the bottom of the screen. Now, I don't know. You know, you're supposed to tell a story at the beginning of something like this, so there you go. I That's the story. Um, I'm kind of a uh, immediate, right now kind of guy, and it seems like what people are used to is something different, right? Where you don't get the thing right now, you get a promise of it later on. Well, anyway, so I'm going to show you how you can have a presence in Web 3.0. Or as Keir Finlow Bates says, he said one time that I was a on-chain maximalist. Right, everything is on-chain. You can go onto the chain and you get all the information is there. There's nothing off of the chain. Right, that's the only way I think to get to Web 3.0. So I start here with everybody's favorite currency, Polygon, also called Matic, right? And I got some Polygon across the Rainbow Bridge, which costs a lot of Ethereum. Uh, and you'll notice that I'm just starting here, polygonscan.com, right? There's no information, but I have MetaMask. So if I click on MetaMask, I can pull up one of my accounts and use the ID as an entry point. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. This is my church-a-majig thing that I'm working on. I've got all sorts of sort of different identities. I've got my company. I've got these pretend companies. I've got a cult, and then I've got this one, right? So uh, I can just copy right there, and I can do a search, and that's my entry point. Now, that's not your entry point, right? Because you're not going to remember that number. So right now I'm going to show you how there can be what I call anchors. And I've never seen anybody, I know other people use these. I know these are used in smart contracts, but I don't think they're talked about that much. And I call them anchors. They can go across different currencies. So this address is, basically all of the transactions that I say I'm doing is this church. Feel free to send me some, if you like what I'm doing, feel free to send me some Polygon, right? That's the address right there. You can just click that with your phone. So that's my version of saying, like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever people say. So if you want to send me some Polygon, have at it. Anyhow, now I have some smart contracts in here. And when I create a smart contract, I give you everything. I show you the whole thing. And I also show me the whole thing. So I put the smart contract entirely online. And we're going to take a look at one of them right here. Let's see, this is the contract. Oh, no, that's my own address. Here's the contract with the other address. Okay, so here's the contract right here. So it comes from there to, and let's see, let's pull it out a little bit. Right, here's one right here. Let's take a look at this one. It almost doesn't matter which one I grab because I'm just using it as a template, right? Now, programmers are weird. They're kind of proprietary, right? So they want you to make it. They want you to believe everything is wicked complicated, and that that makes you reliant on them, right? So I would probably be a lot richer if I did that, but that's just not the way I roll for some reason. So, but I can I can do the coding. So here's smart contract. You see, and I try to be as um, I try to express as much as possible. In the contract name, you have this. Um, it says Ninth Baptist, but it says that you'll notice in this funny text, right? And that's a digibyte address. So you can actually go to digibyte and you can see transactions there where I use that address. And you can even subscribe to things like that if you have a server that you run down here in Nerd World, right? To where if you're sitting here with just your phone, and you have a little bit of digibyte or maybe even Dogecoin, you can send to that address, and the whole world will see it, and that begins to connect you to that address. But again, how do you find these things to begin with? Where's the table of contents? Where is the starting point that tells you that that's a thing? The only reason that I knew that was a thing was because I headed here. Well, that's where a contract like this can help. And so what you can do is you can, let's see, just select all, come right here into this happy little tool, and you can just make your own contract, paste it right in there. Now, so this address right here, so these are payments, right? It says payable. You can read this stuff. You can figure this stuff out. It's not rocket science. And it's the same stuff over and over again, right? But this is very small. And this actually allows, it's like a simple little checkbook. You can send money to it. Uh, I can pull money out, and you can set up your own version, right? Like you can copy and paste it and put your address in here, on the owner, right? When you create it's created that way. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. These are things that you can do. You don't have to rely on programmers for everything. I know that's going to make me unpopular, but it's the truth. So what I want to do, though, is make a different contract where the payment, see, and these are different people, right? The payment, instead of going here, goes to a different address, a burn address, because burn addresses are the key. All these that say things, right, are forms of burn addresses. The most popular burn address is this guy right here. Look, I'm holding my finger on the 0 key. Wow. I have to push it over and over again. There you go. Look, see all these addresses? Nobody owns these, right? And the most popular is 0. But you can pick whichever one and just start building around that. And people like me will come look at these. Now the one I'm most interested in is this one right here. And again, there you go. See there? See how easy it was for me to find that? I even found this other one. That's probably some important information stuck in there. Maybe I did that, maybe not. But this one is easier to find. So you just stick your burn address, you just copy it right here, and you see where it says transfer 0. Now it turns out I think I had to transfer something. I don't think the transfer 0 works. I don't know, maybe it does. Hopefully it still does. It's pretty nice to be able to transfer nothing. And But that's it. That's it. You just stick the burn address there, and you use your oh, it didn't copy the right one. Anyway, you get the point. It's this address right here. Copy. You just stick it right there. Now, whenever you run this new contract and you give it a new name, you probably don't want to call it that name, you know. Call it whatever you want, and it'll show up with that name. And see this right here, all this stuff, these are just comments, but the comments are, again, written into the ledger so that you can read them. So instead of always thinking about contracts to be between people you don't know and you don't trust and somehow building trust into that, you can put all sorts of information in here, like where you are and your location. Then you can go to the people nearby, people up the street, wherever, and work with them. And they can know that it's you, right? So there's different there's different ways to build trust. Everything doesn't have to be based on the one thing that has become popular. What I see happening is an idea will take off, like decentralized finance or like NFTs, and 10 bazillion people will copy that. And then they will all hop on social media and say, this is the best thing ever. And it drowns out all the other ideas. There's lots of other ideas out there. Anyway, I'm not going to show you the whole process, but you can go through this. You can actually create a new contract, and you just use a tiny, tiny little bit of Polygon to write it to the ledger. It's so much easier than, it's so much cheaper than Ethereum. So like I say, I know often the message that you get is smart contracts are really complex and that you need an expert to look it over to make sure. Well, that's true if the smart contract is 8,000 lines long. But if it's tiny, if it's small, and you kind of operate, like I operate, you can know, you can understand, and you can publish it out so everybody can see. So if there's a problem, the people that deal with you can tell you before you put $1 million into the thing. Anyway, I hope this helped. Thanks.